Time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donley Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. We are here every single Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. I'm Susan, and I'm here with Randy Donley. And we're the owners of Donley Auctions in Union. We're just 60 miles west of Chicago. And we are here today to help you determine if you have any valuable items in your home that you may want to sell at auction. Hi, Randy.
Hey, Susan.
How was your 4th of July weekend?
Oh, come on.
It was your birthday.
4th of July week. Right. My birthday was July 2nd. We always celebrated over the weekend of the 4th. And boy, oh boy, did you have some surprises for me.
Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? It's my favorite holiday.
Yep.
And I bought you a American flag for our house.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of that because I've never had a flag on our house before.
And I can't imagine
so
that
happy.
All these years we've always had one, of course, at Donley Auctions, but didn't have one in the house. I'm just blown away. But what a fun weekend at Lake Geneva. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. We were visiting, touring, doing all kinds of fun things.
On a fireworks cruise at sunset with a dinner. If you haven't done that yet, folks, go to Lake Geneva for a cruise. It's so nice.
Yeah, dinner at Pier 290. I mean, just all kinds of things.
It's our favorite happy place.
It really is. I attended bar at a place called the Top Deck in Lake Geneva when I was a teenager. I went to college at Whitewater and was hired on as a bartender.
You worked there for many years.
7 years I worked there.
7 years. So when we were in Lake Geneva over the weekend, Randy points out, see that staircase over there? Yeah, why? Well, there's been a few bodies that got tossed down those stairs at one time.
This is where the bouncers used to throw the drunks down the staircase.
And now it's all blocked off, right? I don't think they even use that.
Oh, God, no.
They don't use that access area
anymore. That couldn't happen today.
Now it's just for weddings up there.
But I found so many great antiques in Lake Geneva.
Yes. Recently you found a sign.
Well, there's still some very good antique shopping in Lake Geneva. The Geneva Antiques Mall, Lake Geneva Antiques Mall. And we found some good treasures there this last week, and it continues.
Well, I think everywhere we go, it's always a treasure hunt for you.
It is.
Everywhere we go. Everywhere.
That's my life.
Folks, I'm telling you, everywhere we go. Welcome to my world with Randy Donley. It's wonderful that we get to treasure hunt no matter where we're at.
So some of the things we're going to talk about today is actually my passion is ticker tape machines.
Yes.
Early stock tickers. And if you have, not had a stock ticker in your life, why would you? They're the iconic little contraptions with a glass dome on them that you always see pictured when they show the stock market crash of 29. There's always people furiously reading the tape, the ticker tapes, because the stocks were crashing so fast that the ticker tapes couldn't even keep up with them. But
who invented the stock ticker, Randy?
Well, that's pretty obvious. Thomas Edison was the inventor of the stock ticker.
You think so, huh? Well, after doing my research,
okay,
I know. I hate to tell you when you're wrong, but you were right.
Correct me on the air, please do.
Ed Callahan invented it in 1867. Thomas Edison made the improvements, which is what we know today.
Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah. Because Thomas Edison had 1,100 patents in his lifetime, and many of them, in fact, were patent improvements. I mean, Thomas Edison is well known as, quote unquote, the inventor of the stock ticker, and people don't know what's this gentleman's name?
Ed Callahan, Edward A. Callahan, invented it in 1867, but Thomas Edison made the special telegraph receiver that printed the company symbol, for everybody
Thomas
to get
Edison
it out the same exact time.
Yeah, he made the invention practical for use.
Yes.
Before it really had no purpose.
Right, because everybody needed to get the information all at once.
Right. So at any rate, I used to actually collect Edison stock tickers. I don't collect them anymore. But a lady just recently contacted me about ticker tapes, and she said, well, my father worked at the New York Exchange, and he's now older, retiring, and needs to liquidate his collection. And Susan, he has 6 of these ticker tape machines. And I mean,
wow, I love the mechanics behind those for sure.
And ticker tape machines go for really good money. We'll talk about that actually in our next segment. When Mike Donley, I'm going to have Mike on the air with us.
But we're looking for more. I mean, we can always add more stock tickers to a future auction, right?
Well, without a doubt. Stock tickers are relatively rare because they weren't mass produced for the general population.
Right, and they were only sold for a few years.
Well, it was a piece of business equipment,
exactly.
Used at the stock exchanges in New York and Chicago and so on and so forth.
You know why they call it a stock ticker? What?
I bet you know.
I do know. It's because of the sound it makes. It goes tick, 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 tick.
Get out of here, really. And so they trademarked the name stock ticker because of the noise.
That's correct.
Wow.
Yes.
No, I did not know that, but thank you, Susan, for trivia day here.
Got to make it interesting for everybody out there. But if you do have a stock ticker, give us a call at 815-923-7000. We'd love to talk to you about it, and we'd love to see photos.
Sure. Now, also in our show today, Susan, I want to talk about early aviation.
Okay.
Now, early aviation is just so incredible, with all the way back to the Wright brothers' first flight. And aviation is just such a crazy, crazy, great field of collecting because there's so many different directions that you can take aviation collecting, whether it's actual airplane equipment itself. A lot of people only collect the items that are off of the control panel, all the instruments and so on. And there are people that collect specific time periods. They only collect from the early teens, where, aviation was in its infancy. It's just crazy good. But also, there's people then that collect a specific time period of World War II. They only collect military aircraft and military uniforms from aviation and so on and so forth. So that fits right into our field. And then, of course, you can start collecting airline memorabilia, whether it's early airline uniforms or posters or information about various airlines.
Yeah, we have had a lot of that in the past, and we have learned that really any historical memorabilia sells well for the most part. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more about specifically aviation memorabilia coming up.
We are. The family of a very, very famous aviator, his name was Parker Kramer. Parker Kramer was an aviator from, I believe he started in 1912, but he was in World War I. He was a pilot and a trainer and everything during World War I, but he became a very famous pilot and explorer, and actually met his death at a crash over the ocean, his final flight in 1931. But the family had everything of Parker Kramer's, be it his licenses, his charts, his graphs, parts of aircraft and everything. One of the best aviation collections I have ever seen. And we are going to be auctioning it off at Donley Auctions.
That's right. And we're going to talk with Mike Donley more about some of the specific details on that. But again, really the purpose of our show is to let you know about things that sell well at auction and to find out what do you have. We love collections like this, especially when it comes with provenance.
You bet. Provenance is always key. And, bringing up provenance, do I have time in this segment to talk about this, the flag provenance?
Probably not, but we can touch on it because what we want to do is have everybody stay on the radio and come back in one of our upcoming segments.
We have a Confederate flag that we're going to be selling, and it's a very rare historic flag, but the provenance has been lost. It was actually sold at a different auction company, and the provenance when the gentleman bought the flag, the provenance didn't come with the flag. Now, we could be talking major money if we cannot recreate the provenance for this flag. So provenance is key. This gentleman could be losing $5,000.
That's right.
The provenance is not found.
I'm glad you were able to, get that story in a concise amount of time so we could talk about it. Thank you, Randy. That's a great story, too. Again, provenance is extremely important, even if it's just a letter that you get typed up yourself and submit it with the items. Anything from the family is so helpful, folks. Again, real quick, some admin information. Call us at 815-923-7000. You can ask for Randy. If you have any photos of anything, email them to us at consign@donleyauctions.com. Again, information where you're located. That's always helpful to know in case we need to come out and pick up something. And let us know what you have. We'd love to hear more about it. But don't go anywhere. We have Mike Donley coming up next, talking about a few things. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday on AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan, co-owner of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, here with Randy Donley. Today we have Mike Donley on the line with us again, Randy's brother. Hi, Mike. How are you?
How are you doing today? I'm good, fine, thanks.
We're good. We want to talk about stock tickers and the value of stock tickers today. But I was reading a little bit about ticker tape parades. I wonder if people today even know what that means.
No, I bet they don't. I mean, ticker tape was big round rolls of paper tape that was used in a ticker tape, and it was only about a half-inch wide. Mm-hmm. So when there were major parades in cities like New York and everything, they would actually take these big rolls of tape, or not tape, but paper rolls, and literally throw them out the windows. And you'd see these big streamers of long pieces of paper.
And now it's just confetti. But I thought that was neat where that originally came from. At the end of World War I and World War II, they did that. Yeah.
So Mike, gosh, you and I have been collecting and dealing in ticker tape machines for, 40 years, wouldn't you say?
Ever since you found a pile of them in a warehouse in Chicago there.
Oh, my God. That goes back even earlier, probably 50 years ago. There was a scrap dealer in the city of Chicago, and he had a huge pile of ticker tape machines that he was scrapping out for the brass. And if you wanted to buy one, they were $25 a piece, your choice. And what would you say the average price of a ticker is today?
Depending on the machine, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah, I would say even maybe slightly higher, $7,000 to $10,000. But that's the average price of that a ticker tape should sell for today.
I'm just curious, how many did you guys buy from the pile?
Oh, of course.
All of them?
No, we bought one.
One for $25.
The big time
I thought
dealers.
you were going to buy them all.
Yeah, wheeler dealers. Yeah, we'll take one of those.
And then did you end up selling it for more?
I
Probably.
would say so. Yeah, probably $50. But nonetheless, here we are today with
we love stock tickers. Yeah.
We just had somebody from New York call us, and their father has 6 ticker tape machines. And
what is he, retiring or?
Yeah,
he's retiring.
He's retired, and he's just at the age that he's asked his daughter to help liquidate. She went online and saw that we, not all that long ago, sold one for what, 20? Did it go for $28,000?
$28,000, yes.
So Mike,
they're of value today. Yes, there are people out there who still want them.
What do we tell people about that, Mike? I mean, $28,000 is, that's an anomaly, but that's what happens in the auction business.
Well, absolutely. You get, the stock tickers themselves are probably the most iconic symbol of American finance and American corporate power. I mean, nothing says anything like a stock ticker sitting on a broker's shelf or the end of his desk. So they'll pay. If 2 guys get a battle of them, they want it, to those guys. they're making millions. 28 grand, who cares?
Yeah, well, you said it right. Where people want one sitting on their desk behind them, it's no different than having an expensive bronze or an oil painting to adorn your office. Who in the stock business wouldn't want a stock ticker? So we sell one for $28,000, and a woman calls us. She's got another stock ticker. Just saw your results, and we explained to her, look, that was an anomaly. That probably won't happen again. Expect about $10,000 for your stock ticker. And so we put her stock ticker up, and she ended up getting $20,000. I mean,
you just never know.
You don't know.
It depends on whose eyes are on it.
But we always have to explain to people that the reality is, we set the parameters. Look, 7 to 10,000. That's what you can expect. But when 20 hits or 28 or those kind of things, again, that's the beauty of an auction.
That's right. And you know what? I am not in the stock exchange, but I would love a stock ticker because I'm a Thomas Edison fan. He's my hero. So I would like one just to have as a collector's item. So you don't have to be in the stock market in order to enjoy a stock ticker was my point.
Right. So Mike,
actually, the stock ticker was Edison's first big invention, where he got paid $25,000 from Western Union for the rights to that invention. And that's what launched his whole inventor career, with the sale of that stock ticker rights to Western Union.
Wow, that's a lot of money back then.
Oh my God!
Oh, he could have retired on that. It was like 1868 or something like that. Yeah, he could have retired.
Glad he didn't.
Yeah. Think about that. How that would have changed the world.
We'd be working in the dark still.
So, at any rate, stock tickers. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about it on the show today is because we're always trying to explain to people what they might have in their house that could bring them some serious money. And back in the day, I remember when you, Mike, found a list of retired Western Union employees, and back then you wrote snail mail, pre-computer, you wrote letters to all these people, and lo and behold, all these guys who retired had a stock ticker that they had taken home with them. At one point it was just useless old equipment or even junk, scrap. So these guys had these, and I remember flying to Montana to pick one up. He tells me about his friend who also just lives a few miles away. I went there and bought another. He told me, hey, if you're going back to Chicago, I've got a friend in Cicero that has one. By the time my little trip ended, I had purchased 5 stock tickers in one outing. And that's all because of your letter.
Wow.
That's how we used to find stuff, but now we're on the radio telling people,
that's right.
Hey, what do you have at home?
That's right. If you do have one at home or know anyone who does, give us a call at 815-923-7000.
So anything else you want to talk about tickers or ticker tape or any of that right now, Mike, before we move on to aviation?
Well, no, there's just want to mention, too, there are several different kinds, and the ones we're looking for are the smaller ones with the glass domes on them. They made a taller, later style, the Dow Jones ticker, which looks like almost like a old coin-operated scale, a penny scale. They're taller. Those aren't as collectible. I mean, those, the later, those are from, the 20s and the 30s and into the 40s. And those are only going to bring, 500 to 1,000. So they're not the ones we're looking for. We're looking for the ones that sit on top of a table and have a glass dome on them, like in the early Addams family. Remember when Gomez was always out there looking at it was the Addams family, yeah. When Gomez was always checking his stock quotes.
Oh, yeah. I remember that vaguely. I was very young when that show was on.
That's the kind we're looking for, the ones with the glass domes on them.
Okay. Is there any markings or anything on them they should look for?
Some will say quotations provided by Western Union on the front of them. Some will just have a Western Union decal on the front of them. But they should be pretty easily identifiable. If you have one, you probably know what it is.
And the base is cast iron? Are those the ones we're looking for? Cast iron. Okay. Yeah. Wow, great. Again, if you do have some, we'd love to see pictures too. So you can email that to us at consign@DonleyAuctions.com. We'd love to see your photos of any stock tickers out there. They sell well at auction, folks.
We should also point out that regardless, even if you have them in parts, very often the domes are missing, the glass domes. They got broke over the years. They really were no more than a dust cover to keep, dust off of the mechanism. So a lot of those actually got discarded right at the exchange where, they were so busy operating this equipment, they discarded the domes. So don't feel that your machine is worthless without a dome.
That's right. And you know what? If we do get any more of those in, when will those go up for auction?
In November. November is our big fall classic.
Fall classic in November.
So people have time to contact us with any of this old equipment.
And mark your calendars. That's going to be November 16th through the 18th. That's also when we're selling the JFK collection. So it's going to be a fantastic auction. Perfect time for stock tickers. Keep that in mind, folks. Mike, I want to keep you on the line to talk about aviation memorabilia in our next segment, so don't go anywhere, folks. We do have our guns and military auction coming up Saturday and Sunday, July 15th and 16th. Firearms, 500-plus firearms, ammunition, and incredible military memorabilia coming up July 15th and 16th. We also have a barn auction coming up Saturday, August 5th. That'll be interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that. We also have one more thing I'm going to talk about. The antique camera collection will be in Arlington Heights from the International Photography Hall of Fame, Saturday and Sunday, September 9th and 10th. So it's never too early to consign with us, folks. Stick with us. We're going to talk about aviation memorabilia. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. This is Randy Donley. We're here with Mike Donley today. And Mike and Randy are going to talk a little bit about aviation memorabilia and how valuable that is at auction today. Hi, Mike.
How's it going?
One thing, Mike, I wanted to point out to our listeners is that sometimes in order for us to do our job and get people the best top money for their collections, it takes time. We have a collection of aviation memorabilia that we've had in our possession now for over a year. And, of course, the family knew this going into it. But for us to do the research and marketing and everything to get them top dollar, sometimes it really takes a while. And the family was in from Minnesota yesterday overlooking our progress and very happy with how things were lined up. But Mike, isn't this probably the most outstanding single collection that we've had in years?
Oh, I don't think there's anything like this or ever will be again. I mean, the fact that the family saved everything for almost 100 years now. I mean, it just never happens.
It is the variety of early aviation, the photographs and autographs, and it's just crazy good how much fabulous rare aviation items there, and the early span of time. I mean,
right at the beginning,
yeah. It's just
tickets to early air races. I mean, programs. I mean, we even have altimeter number 1 from the U.S. Army Air Corps. Altimeter number 1.
Yeah, and you wonder, what was he doing with that? Did the Air Force give that to him for him to experiment with on one of his airplanes? Or why would he have the serial number 1 altimeter?
Well, he was an instructor in the Army Air Corps, too, early on, so during World War I. So.
Well, and this is interesting. The family brought us yesterday his actual pilot's license, which is number 4. Yep.
Doesn't get any.
So who's 1, 2, and 3?
Go ahead, Mike.
McCracken's number 1, who was, I think, the first head of the FAA. Glenn Curtis is number 2, and Orville Wright's number 3. Parker Kramer's number 4.
Wow.
Kramer is number 4, right after Orville Wright. I mean, wow.
Parker Kramer, they called him Shorty for a reason.
And we have his actual pilot's license. And this one, actually, the license had been on a polar ice cap for years. He crash landed a plane in, what year was that, like 1928?
28 or 29, yeah. They didn't discover it until 48, yeah.
In Greenland. On a Greenland ice cap, yeah.
So there it sat for years in the ice cap, and the pilot's license gets returned to the family sometime after Kramer's death.
But they survived that crash.
Yeah,
they survived that one. Yeah, had to walk for 15 days to find civilization. Yeah.
Wow. So when they came back, did they have a ticker tape parade?
I don't think
Maybe.
they could have.
They did have a parade, though. And where is the plane located now?
That particular plane is in Rockford at the Rockford Air Museum.
Or no, it's at Midway.
Is it Midway or Rockford Air Museum? One of the two.
It's in Rockford.
Rockford.
We need to figure that out where that is because
I think it's in Rockford.
Okay. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, they pulled it back and restored it there in 1948. So.
Wow.
What a great story.
It really is. So all this good stuff coming up. So what we want to do right now is mention to everybody that we're looking for more aviation items, some really great pieces of aviation, including, Mike, you said, tell everybody we'll take your biplane, too, if you've got one.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be retired airline pilots out there who have memorabilia. I mean, what do you got? You got a wood propeller. You got an old gun off of a B-17. I mean, this stuff is out there. Everybody's got a little bit of something. If we put it all together, we'll make a very historic auction here.
That's right.
Well, speaking of B-17, we actually have a B-17 steering wheel in this
in the July auction.
In the July auction.
Yeah.
That's
and right on the little center hub there says B-17 Flying Fortress.
Wow.
I mean, unbelievable. Those things never show up.
And we're not holding that one because we want to go ahead and sell that one now. That's coming up on Sunday, July 16th. But the aviation collection auction will be held about when, would you say? When are we going to do that one?
Well, it'll be this year, so a time to be announced. So
that's right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got some aviation memorabilia, something you think we should have, please call us or email us.
Yep, at 815-923-7000. You can email us with your location and what you have and some photographs. Or if you want Randy's personal phone number, we'll be happy to give that to you as well. Call us at 815-923-7000. Any last words, Mike Donley?
Nope.
Thanks
for listening, folks.
Yeah, Mike is in Wisconsin picking up some military relics for our September auction.
Oh, that's right. Say hi to Joe. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. We'll see you back at the office. And, folks, coming up next, we're going to talk about upcoming auctions. Again, we're always looking for very specific items to add to current collections that we have to just kind of enhance them. So who knows what you have in your house? Let us know what you do. 815-923-7000. Don't go anywhere. You're on the Donley Auctions Hour with Susan and Randy on AM 560. The Answer.
And now, more of the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. I'm Susan, co-owner of Donley Auctions with my partner here, Randy Donley. We want to touch base a little bit about our upcoming auction in July 15th and 16th, firearms, ammunition, and military memorabilia. What a great auction that one's going to be, Randy.
You know, it really is. What a nice variety of items. But one thing that was in the auction that I need to tell our listeners, because I know there's people who have already called me, what happened? We actually pulled an item out of the auction, which is the Wyatt Earp vest.
Yes.
So we have,
which is really there's a good reason why.
Yep. We had Wyatt Earp's vest and pistol, and the letter of provenance that came with it stated that, in fact, there was a vest, a pistol, a hat, and a saddle. And, of course, the family said, we just don't know what happened to it. And we kept saying, well, if there's any chance it can be found, in the house or one of their houses, please let us know. And, of course, it has turned up. And so we've got the saddle being sent to us from out of state. It is actually Wyatt Earp's saddle. It's in the original letter of provenance. And so now we're putting the collection back together, the 4 pieces that belong in this letter, to make sure, again, our client gets the highest price.
That's right. Well, that's great news. And
it really is.
We'll probably end up putting that in our September auction.
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
so September 23rd and 24th, something else to add to your calendar, will be our next firearms and military auction, because we had so many great items coming in for July that we had to cut it off. And we said, you know what, go ahead and get it in here. We're going to put it in September. So it's not too late to consign.
September's also going to have a large collection of Native American.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. There's a specialist coming in next week.
Yep, she is. And actually, a girl I went to high school with is now a specialist in Native American memorabilia. How strange is that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wild.
That's great. I can't wait to meet her.
So at any rate, Native American, again, coming up. And so many great items. So if you've got items to add to our September auction, call.
That's right. Call 815-923-7000. Again, email us at consign@donleyauctions.com. But tell them again, I know we talked about it a couple times, the Gary Cooper gun that we have coming up in July.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty neat.
The Clyde Barrow gun. I know we keep mentioning it, but we want to make sure new listeners that are joining us hear about these fantastic celebrity firearms in July.
Well, the Clyde Barrow pistol, I mean, wow. Bonnie and Clyde are probably the best known, well, maybe not the best known gangster era villains, so to speak, but certainly because of the movies and everything. Mm-hmm. But we have a pistol that was actually given, away by Clyde himself, and a note that says, "Roses are red, violets are blue. This gun's broke, so I leave it for you."
That's right. That's a great item.
Old Colt pistol, and it is so neat. And the original note is there, and the provenance and everything.
Yeah, and that's going to be up on Saturday, the 15th. So come on out to Union, Illinois, folks. Join us at the auction.
So, yeah, if you want to see more about gangsters, too, there's 2 great places to visit. And
you went to both of them this weekend. When you ask Randy what he wants to do for his birthday, this is what he does.
Okay, I went to Volo Auto Museum because I wanted to see the
fabulous
Titanic exhibit.
Oh, my gosh. If you haven't had a chance to go to the Titanic exhibit at Volo Auto Museum in Volo, please do so. Worth every penny. And
a great exhibit about gangster memorabilia and so on and so forth.
That's right. Jurassic Park was fun. It was just really a great day.
You know what? If you're going there, buy the 2-day pass right away. You can't see it in one day. And if you've got kids, it is so kid-friendly. A lot of people say, I don't want to take my kid to the museum.
You have to take them there.
This is exactly what it's for. And then...
what else did you do?
My second
your other
choice
stop on your birthday
was the Wayne Lansing Auto Attractions in Rockton. And again, fabulous exhibit of gangster memorabilia. John Dillinger, Clyde Barrow, Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, just so many great items, but hundreds of antique cars and memorabilia. It's gone way beyond. It's called an auto attraction, but it has gone way beyond that.
Yes, definitely a great stop in Rockton.
Lincoln memorabilia, right on from Lincoln to Kennedy, everything in between. The Kennedy exhibit is just absolutely incredible. I mean, he actually has the flag draped over Kennedy's coffin.
Yes, he does.
And
great history there.
And the actual magazine that Oswald ordered his Carcano rifle from, right here in Chicago. He bought it from Klein's Sporting Goods in Chicago, and the mail order catalog that he used to purchase it from is in the Lansing Auto Museum. I mean, it's just,
oh my gosh,
that's the quality of items. You don't want to miss either of these attractions.
That's right. So this weekend, folks, today's Saturday, you still have time. Either get to Volo or get to Rockton, one of the two, and tell them Susan and Randy sent you, that you heard about them on the radio.
You got
We
it.
love both of them. So don't go anywhere. We still have another segment coming up where we're going to talk about how you can actually bid at one of our auctions. We talk about how to consign all the time, don't we? But we love our consignments. The emails are just flooding in, the phone calls. Keep them coming, folks, at 815-923-7000. But we're going to tell you next how you can actually bid at an auction. So for now, don't go anywhere. I'm Susan. And this is Randy. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560 every Saturday at 1 o'clock. AM 560, The Answer.
The Donley Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. You're here with Susan and Randy Donley, talking about items you might have that are valuable and you might want to sell at auction. We talked about all of our upcoming auctions, how to consign. Let's touch base a little bit about the new Donley Group. Randy, what do you got there?
Well, obviously Shauna is normally on this segment, Shauna Donley, who's in charge of our real estate division of the Donley Group. And, we've got so much going on, but Shauna actually is out of the country right now as we speak. So she's not on. So I will just tell everybody, remember that we do sell property, and not only at auction, but we can list your property and sell it, just as easy, whether we're doing, a normal sale or auction. We can help you with anything.
That's right. And if you go to our website at donleyauctions.com, there's a tab there that says real estate, and that'll show our current listings at properties with Shauna at the helm taking care of all of that. And we're going to be posting information about the Wild West town that's for sale.
Sure. So you said that you were going to tell everybody how to bid.
Well, yeah, we want people to come out to the auction house, don't we? Come on out. They can go to Volo and Rockton. They need to come out to Union.
There you go.
So make that part of your stop next week, July 15th and 16th, for our firearms, ammunition, and military auction, Saturday and Sunday. So we'd love for you to come out. We'd love to meet you. That's for sure. We're all there. And it's the most economical and the safest way to bid because you're there. You get to see the items. You get to touch them, feel them, smell them, whatever you want to do. And it's a lot of fun. We have tables and chairs, air conditioning. It's a comfortable environment. So come live in person. We even have coffee, donuts, pizza, and beer.
Always.
What more could you ask for at an auction? And it's all complimentary, that's for sure. But if you can't come out, that's okay. We understand that the weather's great, but you can still bid with us while you're sitting at the pool,
Yeah, you can.
That's right. You can call us at 815-923-7000 or go to our website and submit what's called an absentee bid. And that just means that you're going to put your maximum bid on a form and send it to us, and we'll bid up to your maximum, right?
You bet.
Also, the other way is a phone bid, and that just means that I can sit on the phone with you while you're at the pool and bid on your behalf. So no excuses anymore, idea. People. Yeah, no excuses. You can
Don't need to come live.
That's right. So one other thing we want to ask, too, is if anyone out there would like to advertise on our show, tell them what they need to do for that, Randy.
All they need to do is actually call me.
We'd love to get some sponsorship for the Donley Auctions Hour.
Sure.
So give us a call at 815-923-7000.
We'll set you right up with some great commercials and mention your items or businesses right here on Donley Auctions.
That's right, because we do get a lot of people listening. We see people all the time. Hey, we heard you on the radio.
And I had somebody with an antique small call and say, hey, I'd like to be part of your show. How can we do it? So
that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Great way to do that. So real quick, mark your calendars. We have firearms and ammunition Saturday and Sunday, July 15th and 16th. A barn auction on August 5th. That'll be interesting.
That's one of the few live auctions that we're doing.
Yeah, that's going to be live only.
You cannot do that one online.
I need 300 people there. That'd be fantastic.
It's going to be live only, and it's packed.
And it's
goodness.
Is it in Marengo or Union?
It's Marengo, Illinois.
It's in Marengo, Illinois, Saturday, August 5th. We have the antique camera collection coming up. That one will be in Arlington Heights at a separate location that we're working at, September 9th and 10th. We'll talk more about that. We've got plenty of time. But we're also taking consignments now for art and general antiques, stock tickers. We're working on the Playboy and erotica auction. That date will be coming up soon. So don't go anywhere, folks. We have a lot of stuff coming up at Donley Auctions this year. But for now, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley.
And we'll see you at the auction.
Thanks for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. Check out all the latest information on upcoming auctions and collectibles at DonleyAuctions.com. And while you're there, you can contact someone about buying or selling your collectibles or estates. That's DonleyAuctions.com.